This is quite a nice place to hang out. We spend most of our summers here. But there is one problem. When we moved into the house, we lost the glass pane that is the top of the table. So I'm gonna make a new one, but not out of glass, but since I have okay. Since I have a lot of pallet wood, I'm gonna make it out of that. These ghosts. Oh man. All right, let's measure. For measuring, I have a tape measure, and to help me remember, I have my trusted moleskin. So let's measure. $50.84. Now I'm thinking that I make it quite easy. I just make a long piece with different planks like this, and just 2 planks like this, or pieces of wood, and then I just screw them. No glue and stuff like that. And yeah, here's the table. So hopefully it will look better. All right, we're back in the garage, and now we're going to do the table, or build the table. So I have this big mess on the table where all my screws and stuff are. So I hope I find stuff. But I'm going to measure pallet wood and saw pallet wood and make it into the dimensions I have in my trusty moleskin. There's no jingle. Usually comes up a jingle whenever I have something in my pocket. But anyway, 50 times 84, and let's see what stuff lying around here that I can use for this. So let's get on. Okay, let's see here if these pieces of pallet wood is 50 wide. If I put them up against each other, let's see how deep this is. This is 60. So here's 50, and if I just draw a line here somewhere, I can use that as a measure. I put these up. These are longer than 84 centimeters, and I have to plane them and use sandpaper and that, of course. But let's see here if I can use these at all. I have to get at least 2 more. Be right back. Okay, this one's nice. No, it's not nice. These are spare leftovers from when I tried to build that monstrosity of a greenhouse before we built the real greenhouse. This is close to 50. So I guess we go for a little more rustic look and have, you know, gaps between the planks, because that is kind of nice. And let's measure now. Now it's wider than 50. So yeah. It doesn't have to be exact. It has to be quite nice. So let's use this angle here. I don't really want the ends, so I have to saw them on both sides. Let's see how long they are. So they are longer than 84. They are, of course. But let's see here. If I saw them here, like that, and now we measure 84 from that, then we're here, nice and flush. All right, this one I will saw into two 50s eventually. Let's get a saw on. Man, load of crap. Okay, that's not straight. Something like that. Now you've seen one. Let me spare you the rest and let's see the finished result after. I just remembered I have this. So why use hand power when I can go electric? A lot faster. Man. I have to remember to be nice to myself. Let's go. Yeah, much better. We've got these 5 boards that are more or less 84, and these 2 here that are 50. Now I have sandpaper, and I have this old planer, which I bought at a flea market because I thought it looked nice. I never knew if I was gonna use it. And I have a belt sander, but the sandpaper is ripped in that, and I don't have any more at home for the moment. So it's just rubbing by hand to make it smooth and make the risks of getting splinters smaller. Because the last thing you want when you're sitting in your garden by the pool with a cold beer, perhaps a coffee and a little biscuit, is a splinter in your finger. Dampens the mood. So I think that first I'm going to screw these on, and then I'm going to sand it. Yeah. That's how I'm going to do. So first I need to find screws that are working to put on these or in these that aren't too long, because if I don't get splinters, I don't want to have pointy ends of screws sticking out. So let's just hope and pray that I got some of those at home. Let's look. All right, here we have the screws. I think these are too long. Remember when I was talking about order and sorting? Yeah, didn't happen. And these short ones. They're short. Never used. Is this fate? They're very short. Are they too short? They're too short. Man, I can't catch a break. Let's see here. I have this box of different things. Here's something that could work. Yeah. Let's hope and pray. Yes, these are perfect. I could catch a break. Now I have the screws, I have a screwdriver, and I have my contents of table of contents. And I think we're going to put them on here with a kind of rounded side down. Okay, you can really tell that they aren't equally long, but nothing is perfect. And then we put these here and these here. And now it is a little shorter than 50, so I'm going to put this one like so, and I take the outer ones first. That way I can position these better afterwards. Are they equally distant from the end? 13, 13. My eye measurement, if it's called that, is quite good sometimes. Let's go. And now, of course, after I put these screws in, I will have to go and look on the other side if they indeed are the length I need. Let's hope and pray it's okay. All right, sorry. The end boards are stuck, screwed, fastened, and in place. So now we take these and adjust them so that the distance in between here are quite the same. Battery's running out. Come on, I've got one screw left, please. Please. All right. Now the table is done. Let's see if this planer works. It has seen better days, but it gets the job quite done anyway. Okay, let's see the tabletop. Yeah, that's nice. Now the problem we've had is that the tabletop as it is just like weaved basket plastic, kind of elastic, so you can't really put down a glass on it without it falling over, and we've always had to take out trays and stuff like that, and we really don't want to have to do that. So this is our new tabletop. Let's see, 84. This is 85. This is 84 and a half. 84 and a half. Man. 85. Let's just do this. If it's a little larger than the table, that doesn't really matter. What matters is that it's quite even. So let's just saw these two edges off, and here let's saw these edges, oops, these edges off. So I'm going to take my my saw and go over this, and then we're going to sand and plane a little bit. All right, now it looks quite nice. Let's see if the planer does anything on these edges. You know, these old pallets, no, we have to use the sandpaper. These old pallets are quite hard to saw through because they're quite different in quality of wood. Some of these went really easy to saw through, others were really hard. Don't know why. Let's find something to wrap this piece of sandpaper around. And let's go to town. Man. I'm gonna wear this out. But yeah, I'm going to do this for a while. So I'll get back to you when I'm done, or if something bad or something really, really good happens. All right, I believe this quick little table is not pretty. And my wife wanted it painted white. So that'll happen one day. And yeah, it's quite sturdy. It's definitely not pretty on the bottom, but let's go into the garden and see how it fits. All right. It fits quite nice, actually, if I say so myself. Yeah. That was a quick little project. I'm quite pleased. It looks a little rustic, a little nice, but the important part is that I can put food, beverages, and stuff like that on the table without it falling over. So yeah, a rustic little table made out of old pallets, and it looks a little dry and looks a little used and it looks a little wonky, but yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. It probably will be looking better once it's painted in the future. But yeah, that's that. Until next time, have a nice day.